Okay, so in today's class, we are going to cover another 3 lectures. The lecture numbers are 4, 5, and 6. In lecture number 4, we have decision making and branching. That means we learn about if statements, then switch statement, this type of conditional statement we learn. In chapter number 5, we learn loop. And in chapter number 6, we learn C array. So now I'm going to share my screen and let me know whether you can see my screen or not. I'm sharing my screen with you. Is it visible to you? Can you see the lecture?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now it is visible. That's fine. So this is our first lecture. Today we are going to discuss about this lecture first. So inside this lecture, we learn about, mainly we learn about these things like if statement. Under if statement, we have different if statement. If you remember, simple if statement, else if statement, nested if else statement, and else if ladder. As well as we discuss about switch case, then we discuss about conditional operators, and then we discuss about go to statement. So from this chapter, at first you have to understand the syntax of each and every statement. After that, you have to understand how they work. That means their working mechanism. Like if you consider the first one, if condition, this is the syntax for if condition. You have to write down the keyword if, and inside the first bracket you have to mention the condition. And then this is the body. You can say this is the if body. If this condition is true, given condition is true, then it will execute the statement, otherwise not. And here you can see an example like the value of A given 10, the value of B given 5, and the condition given A is greater than B. That means 10 is greater than 5. Condition is true. If the condition true, it will print A is greater. But if somehow the value of B become greater, then it will not print anything. So this is the way how this if condition work. Then we have another conditional operator, that is okay. So this is if else condition. According to this if else condition, if this condition is true, that means if this block is true, condition is true, then it will execute true block, otherwise it will execute else block. Okay. An example given here. Okay, so please turn off your microphone. Okay, for now turn off your microphone. You will get your floor. On that floor you can ask your question if you have any question. So you can see an example. If A is greater than B, that means if this condition true, it will execute this block, otherwise directly it will execute this block. Okay, so this is the syntax and this is the example. Then we have nested if else. That means one if else inside another if else. So you can see the syntax here. We have if condition, we have else condition, but inside this if condition we have another if else condition. Same way inside this else condition, else part, we have another if else condition. Okay, this is the syntax, and you can see an example here. We are comparing 3 numbers and we would like to find out the biggest one. Okay, so in this case I'm using nested if else condition. And then we have else if ladder. Okay, this is the syntax. If condition number 1, then else if condition number 2, then again else if condition number 3. Okay, so in this way we have a ladder. So mainly you might ask me one question: when we should use this else if ladder? When you have list of condition, when you have list of condition like 5, 6, 7, 8 condition you have, on that time you can use else if ladder. Like if I give you program, convert your mark to grade. On that time, you can use this type of conditional statement. Okay, and you can see here, this is the default block. This else part is the default block. That means if all the conditions are become false, then automatically your program will execute this block. Suppose as your mark, if you give 1000, okay, this is invalid. Automatically it will come in this block and it will print that your input is invalid. Okay, right. Then we have switch case statement. This is the syntax here. You have to write down the keyword switch, then you have to write down the expression, which expression you would like to match, and then inside the body of the switch case you have to mention the keyword switch, and you have to give the value 1 and the statement, and then after each and every case you have to write down the break. Okay, so in this way you have to write down the body part, and at last you have to write down the default block. Default is the another keyword, and if all the cases are wrong, then by default it will match this block. By default it will execute this block and then it will break the program. In this way it will work. So another example given here. Okay, then we have conditional operator. We already learned about the conditional operator in our previous class. So the syntax is given here. First you have to write down the condition, then question mark, then true expression, and colon false expression. That means if this condition true, let me draw it. If this condition true, then it will execute this true block, otherwise it will execute the false block. Okay, here you have to mention a condition. If the condition true, it will execute this block, otherwise it will execute the false block. Okay, right. An example you can see here, the value of a given 10, and here is our our conditional operator we are using here. A equals to 1, that means n equals to 1, condition false. If this condition false, it will print 30, okay, as output. And second, print 10 equals to 10, condition true, so definitely it will going to print this 20 as the output. So in this way basically this one works. Okay, then the last one, that is go to statement. Under go to statement we learned two things. One is forward jumping, another one is backward jumping. Forward jumping, the example syntax given here, you have to write down the keyword go to, and then you have to write down the label. Okay, anything you can write down as the label. Okay, and when you wherever you mention this label inside the program, it will jump from this line to that level. In the middle it will not execute whatever you have in between these two lines. It will skip everything. Okay, in this way basically it works. And backward jumping means that's the opposite one. First label, then the go to keyword and the label. That is the thing. An example you can see here. Okay, so here we write down one label, read, and here we mention go to read, go to keyword and the label. So we are basically running a loop. What is happening here? I'm taking a value from the user, I'm taking another value from the user, the value of A and the value of B I'm taking from the user, then I'm checking the condition. A is greater than B, whether this condition is true or false. If this condition true, it will execute and it will print that A is greater, then it will come in this line, it will find out, okay, so the instruction given here, go to read. It will search where is the read available. It will jump again here. It will come at this point and again it will perform the same task. So here basically we are running a loop. Okay, we are executing the same instructions again and again. Okay, right. So this is actually example of go to statement. So that's all about this lecture. Okay, you have to learn the syntax as well as you have to apply. You have to understand the working procedure and you have to apply the concept when you do your program. Okay, so now tell me, do you have any question regarding this chapter, decision making and branching? mainly important thing is that you have to know the syntax first, and you have to understand how these syntax are working.
Sir,
Please.
so what is the main difference? The previous class you discussed about conditional operators, and today this is conditional operator statement. What is the basic difference between these two?
Okay, so very good question. So conditional operator and conditional statement, both of them are same. Okay, there is no actually difference. Okay, so conditional operator means, let me show you, right? If I write it down here. Okay, so I'm writing here. Can you guys see what I'm writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So this is called nothing but conditional operator. Am I clear? This is called nothing but conditional operator. First
Operator.
expression, question mark, then second expression, colon, then third expression. Okay. And statement, they are basically mentioning statement will be like that, right? Like A is greater than B. For an example, A is greater than B. If this condition is true, if this condition, if this condition is true, then it will print A, otherwise it will print B. So here what I'm writing, I'm writing a statement, isn't it? So this is actually statement and this is the operator. Okay. So you understand what does it mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Any more question do you have?
I have a problem, sir. Previous sir, conditional operator, sir.
Conditional operator.
Yes, sir. The
Okay,
previous
so
slide.
again, let me show you here. So conditional operator means simply just operator. What is called operator? Suppose think about plus is an operator, isn't it? Then think
Yes,
about minus is an operator. Then
yes, sir.
think about multiplication, this one is operator. Okay, same way question mark and semicolon, this is actually operator. This is called conditional operator. And how we can apply, suppose here we can apply A plus B, isn't it? I'm using this plus operator and A and B is my operand. So same way I'm using this operator in an statement, and when I'm using this operator in a statement, that statement is called conditional operator statement. So how it will work? At first you have to mention here condition. If this condition true, it will execute first block, but if this condition false, it will execute the second block. Okay, am I clear to you?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Go
Okay,
to
so,
level
sorry?
statement, sir. Go to স্টেটমেন্টের ফার্স্টে যদি গো টু লেভেল দিয়ে শুরু করি তাহলে ওটা কিভাবে হবে আরেকবার একটু এক্সাম্পল একটু দেখাবেন
Go to here.
জি স্যার
Okay,
জি
that means you are asking me forward jumping, isn't it? This forward jumping.
yes sir
Okay, right. So for an example, if I write down the code, okay, I'm executing the code. Okay, let me open the compiler first. So can you guys see my compiler now in your screen?
yes sir
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So let me write it down first. Okay, so here let me fix the bugs. Integer, then scanf, done, then if condition I'm using here. Okay, okay, Now I guess this one is okay. Okay, so as we can see, this one is example of backward jumping, because we write down the go to, then here we have the label, and your friend is asking what, show me the opposite one. Okay, so if I write down go to here, let me write it down, go to sorry, it should be go to, and here I am using read. Okay, and okay. Okay, so if I change my syntax like this, then let's see what happened. And here I am writing another line, printf, inside the printf, nothing. Okay.
রিড এর ওখানে সেমিকোলন হবে তো স্যার?
হ্যাঁ,
যে লাস্ট রিড এর ওখানে সেমিকোলন হবে না স্যার?
read, this read.
হ্যাঁ, জি জি।
Okay, I mean, just beside beside this label, we have to use colon. Okay, if you remember, beside the label we have to use colon, but beside this keyword and label we have to write down semicolon. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, let's see if we run this code, what happened. Okay, so it is showing some error. So because this one is not double quotation, I copy paste it, that's why it is creating some problem. Make it correct first. Okay, if I run the code again, okay, so if I run the code, then you can see what it is printing. What it is printing, can you see here?
Nothing.
Nothing,
নো
isn't
স্যার,
it?
মেসেজটার জন্য দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
So now you can see. Can you see it now? Nothing is written.
Yes, sir.
মেসেজটা কেটে
Yes, sir. This
Okay, so it is printing. It is printing nothing, isn't it? Right. So
Yes.
so the thing is that I don't know why this is not working. I cannot cross this one. Okay, the thing is that because of this label, basically it is not working. Okay, somehow it is.
So open another tab. So close the tab and open another tab. It will work.
Okay, let me open another tab. Then I have to write down the code again. Okay, but I think you understand what is the thing I'm going to show you, isn't it? So what
Yes,
it
sir.
is doing, it is basically skipping whatever we have in between go to keyword and the read label. Okay, it is skipping everything and it is jumping from this point to go to point to the read label point. Okay, middle instructions, it is basically not executing. Is that okay? You understand the concept? Arafat,
Yes, sir.
you understand the
Yes,
concept?
sir.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, so if you do not have any problem, then we can move to the next chapter, that is chapter number 5. Again, I'm sharing my screen with you. So let me know whether you can see my screen or not. PowerPoint slide, can you see?
yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Right. So
Yes, sir.
decision making and looping, lecture number 5. So again, same way, you need to learn these things from this chapter. That is, what is loop? Okay. Then we have two types of loop. One is pre-test loop. Another one is post-test loop. Under pre-test loop, we have do loop and for loop. We have to learn what is do and what is for. And post-test, we have do while loop. Okay. So from the name, you can understand. So these do and for, these two loop, what it will do, it will test the condition first, then it will execute the body. On the other hand, what do while loop will do, it will execute the body once, then it will check the condition. Then we have to learn what is nested loop. Nested loop means one loop inside another loop. And last, how we can control our loop. We can use break statement or we can use continue statement. Okay, so let's see. This is the definition of loop. A loop statement allows us to execute a statement or group of statements multiple times. So loop means repeat the same task again and again. So we have while loop. Okay. Okay, so I made one mistake. This is not do loop. This one should be while loop. Okay, while loop, right? While loop. So here is the while loop, and what it will do, it will check the condition. If this condition true, then it will execute the statement, otherwise not. Okay, in any loop mainly we have three parts. First of all, we have initialization, we have condition, and we have increment or decrement section. Again, I'm repeating, we have three parts. First of all, initialization, then condition, then increment or decrement. In while loop, what happened? At first we write down the initialization, then we write down condition with this while, and inside the while loop we write down the increment or decrement. So let's see an example, then the concept will be clear to you. In this example, what we are doing, at first we are initializing the value of a. The value of a given here how much? 10. You can see the value given here 10. Initialization done. Then with the while, what I am doing, I am applying one condition. The value of a should be less than 20. Okay. And inside the loop body, I am printing every time I am printing the value of a. And after that, what I am doing, I am incrementing the value 1. Every time I am incrementing the value 1. A plus plus means a equals to a plus 1. That means I am incrementing value 1 every time. Okay. So if I run this loop, what it will do? It will print this output. Okay. 10 to 19. Okay. I need not to print 10, 11, 12, 13 in this way. Okay. I can use this loop, and this loop automatically print 10 to 19. Okay. So in this way it will work. Is that clear to you? While loop, initialization, condition, and inside the loop body, increment or decrement section. Okay. While loop. Then we have for loop. Again, inside the for loop, we have three things we have to mention. You can see for keyword. Then in the first bracket, we have inside the first bracket we have initialization. Then we have condition. Then we have increment or decrement section. Okay. Condition and increment and decrement section. And in the example, you can see. So a equals to 10. A is less than 20. A plus plus. But we separate three sections by semicolon. You can see here semicolon. Okay. And then inside the loop body, I'm basically printing the value of a, and you will get the same output again here. Same output again here. Please.
While loop, sir, সময় ওই একসাথে সেমিকোলন দিয়ে লেখা যাবে?
No. You cannot write it down because this syntax is different than the for loop. While loop syntax is at first you have to write down the initialization, then with the while keyword you have to write down the condition, then inside the loop body you have to write down increment or decrement section. Okay, syntax are different.
Sir.
Okay, and
Okay,
here
sir.
you can see how this for loop work. You can see how this for loop work. What is the first step? Your compiler will check what is the initial value first, then it will check the condition. 0 is less than 5. Condition true. If this condition true, it will go inside the loop body. It will print hello world. Then it will go to the increment section. It will increase the value of I 1. Previously it was 0. Now it will be 1. it will check the condition again. 1 is less than 5, condition true. Again, it will go inside the loop body. So in this way, it will print hello world 5 times. Okay, 5 times 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 times it will print hello world. Okay, for loop. Then we have do while loop. In do while loop, what happened? This is called post checking loop or post testing loop. So why? Because it will execute the body one time without checking the condition, but when you would like to execute the body for the second time, you have to check the condition. If this condition true, then second time it will execute the body, otherwise not. And you can see the syntax here: do, then the do body, and then while. With while we are mentioning the condition. You can see here, with while we are mentioning the condition. And most importantly, you have to give here one semicolon. After the while condition, you have to give here one semicolon. With for loop, while loop, if condition, switch condition, with this thing we never use this semicolon, but this is the exception. With this one we have to use this semicolon, otherwise it will show syntax error. So let's see what is happening here. We are mentioning the initialization, then inside the do body we are increasing the value of a, and at the end we are mentioning what? The condition, and we are giving here semicolon. So when your program will print 10, okay, first value of a is 10, it will not check any condition. It will not check.
দিলাম স্যার, ইনক্রিমেন্ট দিলাম স্যার, এটা পোস্ট কিভাবে বুঝবো? এটা
Because
প্রি
you
না
can,
পোস্ট?
you can see here initialization first, then we are executing the body. Here what we are doing, we are printing something, isn't it? At first it will print what? 10, but before printing 10, is it check any, it will check any condition or not? Before printing 10,
স্যার বুঝি নাই।
before printing 10, okay, I'm going to print this 10 first, isn't it? So before printing 10, it will check any condition or not? It will not check any condition. At first it will take the value of a is 10, then it will print the value 10 here, then it will increase the value of a. What is the value of a now? Previously it was 10, now it will be 11. Now
11.
it will check the condition. 11 is less than 20, isn't it? For printing 10, it is not checking the condition, but for printing 11, it is checking the condition. 11 is less than 20. Condition true. If the condition true, it will go inside the loop body. Again, it will print the value of a. Now the value of a is 11. It will print 11. Right.
11.
Again, it will
Increment.
increase the value of a. Again, it will check the condition in this way. Until or unless this condition true, it will print the value. So you see, for the first time, we are not checking any condition. We are just blindly, we are just printing the value, isn't it? That's why this is called post checking loop. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So next one is nested loop. Nested loop means very simple. One loop inside another loop. Okay. Like your nested if-else. Here you can see the syntax. Inside this for loop, we are basically mentioning another for loop. So this is called outer for loop, okay, and this is called inner for loop. Okay, that is the thing. So like in this example here, you can see one example. We are basically printing this pattern. We are printing this pattern. To print this pattern, we need these two loops. One is outer for loop, another one is inner for loop. Okay, and the thing is that if it will check the outer for loop initialization step first, portion first, then it will check the condition. If the outer loop condition is true, then it will go inside the loop body and it will find out an inner loop. Again, it will check the initial point of the inner for loop. It will check the condition. If the condition is true, then it will go inside the inner for loop body and it will print what we write down inside the inner for loop. Until or unless the inner loop condition is false, it will run, it will work with the inner loop, but when the inner loop condition become false, it will jump out and it will go in the increment section of the outer for loop, and it will check the condition of outer for loop. Again, it will go in the inner for loop. So I already explained this nested loop concept when I discuss about the matrix. Okay, in our next chapter we have matrix. In that chapter I explain elaborately how this nested for loop work. Okay,
স্যার নেস্টেড ফর লুপটা একটু অ্যারো দিয়ে দেখিয়ে দিতে পারবেন, মানে কোনটার পর কোনটা কাজ করতেছে
okay,
একটু আমাদের ভালো হতো।
right. So I already mentioned the point, that is in my video lecture. Okay, in my video lecture I mention everything by showing arrow symbol so that you can understand. Okay, so it will take time, I mean lots of time if I want to explain it now here. Okay, so let me explain. Okay, but I am recommending my video lectures. Okay, go to my video lectures. Okay, so at first what it will do, it will check this part. Okay, initialization of the outer for loop. Then it will check the condition I is less than or equal 6. If the condition is true, then it will go inside the inner for loop. It will check the initialization of this inner for loop. Then it will go here, it will check the condition of the inner for loop. If this condition true, then it will print whatever we write down in the inner for loop body. Okay, it will print this star. It will print this star. So after that, it will go in this inner for loop increment section. Okay, after increasing the value, it will check the condition again. Until or unless this condition true, it will execute the same path again and again. But if this condition is false, that is inner loop condition is false, then it will go in the outer for loop increment section. It will go in the outer for loop increment section. Then it will check the condition again, whether it is true or false. If it is true, then again it will follow the same path. Otherwise, if this condition is false, outer loop condition is false, then it will jump out from the loop. Okay, it will jump out from the loop. Okay, you understand? In this way it will work. Okay, and for more better understanding, it's better to watch my video lectures. Okay, whatever I give video lecture on array. Okay,
Array. Yes sir.
Okay, right. So here we have another two concepts left, that is break statement and continue statement. So in the break statement, what we are doing, by using the break statement, what we are doing, we are basically jumping out from the loop. Suppose here we have break statement, isn't it? You can see in this example here we have break statement. So when your compiler find out this break statement, it will forcefully stop the execution of the loop and it will go out from the loop. That's why you can see here we are printing 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. When the value of a became 16, 16 is greater than 15, condition true, your compiler will go inside this if body and it is finding what? A break statement. Okay, then it will stop the loop and it will go out from the loop. That's why it print till 15, not till 19. You understand my point? Break. I'm printing 10 to 19. You can see 10 to 19, isn't it? 10 to 19. But why it is printing till 15? Because when your compiler coming at this point, I mean when the value of a became 16, okay, then condition true, if condition true, it will go inside the if body and it is finding what? A break statement. Okay, that's why it will go out from the loop and it will print till 50. You understand? This is the main task of break. Okay, right. If you want to stop your loop, you can use break. And we have another statement that is called continue.
স্যার
Continue.
যদি break
Please.
না হয় স্যার যদি ব্রেক না করে লুপটা তবে ফিনিশ কিভাবে হবে প্রোগ্রামটা?
It will never go inside this if, isn't it? It will never go inside this if. When
Okay.
the value will be 19 or when the value will be 20, the condition became false, isn't it? The value of a became 20, the condition became false. So it will go out, from the loop, okay, and it will terminate the program. Okay, automatically it will go out from the loop and it will terminate the program. Okay, that is the thing. Here we are forcefully stopping. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, so guys, I would like to give you one warning, that is we are running out of time. First session time is already over, so for now I am stopping the.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so here, do you have any question regarding this break anymore? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, then we have continue option. Continue statement we have. Continue, what it will do, it will basically okay, so by using this continue we can skip one iteration. So what is happening, if you see the output, try to understand the output first. Here we are printing what? 10 to 19, but you see one number is missing here. Can you please tell me what is the number missing here?
Sir, 15.
Right, 15 is missing. Now the question is, why 15 is missing? We write down this code in such a way, that's why we miss the 15. Let's see what is the main reason why we are missing 15. Here we are taking what? The initial value 10. The value of a is 10. Now we are running a do loop, do while loop. Do if a equals to 15, then a equals to a plus 1, then continue. Okay, then print the value of a, and every time I'm increasing the value of a 1, and then while I'm applying the condition a should be less than 20. So what is happening, when the value of a is 10, it will go inside the do body and it will check the condition. Okay, 10 equals to 15, condition true or false? Condition false. It will not go inside the loop, condition body. It will go here, it will print the value of a 10. It will increase the value of 10 1. Now it is 11. It will check the condition, 11 is less than 20. Condition true or false? Condition true. Again it will run the loop. Now it will check the condition again, 11 equals to 15. Condition false. It will not go inside the loop body. Okay, so it will print 11. In this way it will print 12. In this way it will print 13. In this way it will print 14. In this way it will print 15. But what happened when the value of a will be 15? Now 15 equals to 15. Condition true. If the condition true, then it will go in the loop body. Now a equals to a plus 1, that means 15 plus 1, now it is 16, isn't it? And we write here what? Continue. It will print what? Instead of 15, it will print 16. Instead of 15, I am basically printing what? 16. That's why it is printing 16. In this way, it will print 17, 18, 19. Okay. But this continue basically not stop the loop. It basically continue the loop work. Okay, it will continue the loop work. Okay, it will continue the execution. Okay, it will not break the thing. It is, you can say in some case it is the opposite of break. Okay, break, by using break we can jump out from the loop, but print, by using print, it will continue the execution of the loop. Okay, but you see we can skip the one point, we can skip one iteration. Okay, that is the thing.
Sir,
please.
if a is equal to 16 হয়ে যাবে তখন প্রোগ্রামটা ক্লোজ হয়ে যাবে, তাই তো স্যার?
No,
প্রিন্ট করে
no.
প্রিন্ট দেখিয়ে যাবে না? হ্যাঁ, ওখানে 16 16 হলে তখন আবার প্রিন্টএফ করে তারপর হোয়াইল লুপ থেকে ক্লোজ হয়ে যাবে না?
Now here it is 16. At this point we're getting the value 16, isn't it? Okay.
নো স্যার, ইফ এর ওখানে 16 যদি হয়, ইফ এর ওখানে, হ্যাঁ, ইফ a is equal to 16, হ্যাঁ এখানে
It
এখানে
is according to this program it will never happen. Okay, why? Because when it is 15 here, okay, 15, so then it will, condition is true, it will go inside the loop, I mean condition body, and it will increase the value 1. So now it is 16, isn't it? The value of a is now what? 16. It will print the value 16 here. It will print the value 16. Then we have another increment option, isn't it? Now what is the value
Yes,
of
sir.
a at this point? 17, isn't it?
17.
It will take, it will check 17 is greater than less than 20, condition true. If the condition true, again it will check 17 equals to 15. You understand? In this way it will work. Okay.
Yes sir.
Okay. So that's all about this lecture. So I guess the concepts are clear to you. Let me move to our next slide, that is array. Okay, can you see my lecture array slide?
Sir, 10 minutes left. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 10 minutes enough, no problem. So within 10 minutes we are going to complete the lecture. So array, can you see array?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here the whole lecture I uploaded in my YouTube channel. Okay, so I believe if you go through my YouTube channel, the videos, okay, let me show you. If you go through my lectures, then all the concept regarding this, let me share my screen. Can you see the web browser now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So here you can see, if you go to this YouTube channel, the channel name is Learn with Rakib. If you go there, then you will get the Programming C playlist. Under this playlist, we have tutorial on array, like introduction to array in C, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, review question I also discussed, then some programming exercise. I also discussed about the program. Okay, how you can add two one-dimensional
Sir,
array.
there is an irrelevant video, I think.
I'm not getting your question. Can you please repeat the question?
So I think there is an irrelevant video in the playlist, number 15.
Okay. So if there is any irrelevant video, then I am going to remove it. No problem. But you understand
Yes,
here?
sir, number 15.
Here
Which one
we
is irrelevant?
Sheldon very smart.
So let's
Okay.
focus on here. Okay. So add to
Yes,
array,
sir.
or that means multiply two matrix, add two matrix, okay, multiply how we can add two one array, how we can perform transformation. Okay, this is every day in my lecture. So this lecture for example. Now we talk about some document. Can you see the Word document now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you will get some theoretical portion as well as some analytical portion. Okay, like the previous 3 chapters, I mentioned some theoretical portion here and some analytical portion here. So like from the chapter number 4, you just need to learn about the syntax, learn all kinds of syntax. Okay, then I look then so I mentioned some example here, just try to understand. So first example, finding output. So though the output is given here, but you have to understand. Okay, you have to run the code and you have to understand what should be the output. let's see why the output it is giving. Let us see. So first of all, the value of I is 4 and the value of Z is 12, isn't it? Value of I is 4, but the value of Z is 12. And in the if condition, we are writing I 5, I equals to 5 and Z is greater than 5. So what do you think? Which part it is going to print? This if part or else part? Which part it is going to print?
Else part. Else part.
Else part. Why else part?
Sir, else statement.
Why? What is the reason behind it?
So there is I equal to 5, and that isn't right. In instance, we have assigned I equal to 4.
Very good. That means you know how to, execute this if else condition. But
Yes, sir.
there is a difference between equal and double equal, isn't it? In C programming language, isn't it?
That's an equal.
This is not double equal, isn't it? If I write down I double equal 5, then the statement will be wrong. But as because we are writing
Wrong.
I equals to 5, it is okay, no problem. Okay, because here we are comparing value 4 equals to 5, but here we are not comparing the two values, isn't it? We are just initializing one value inside this I, isn't it? So in this case, both the conditions are true. That's why it is printing what? Let us see. You understand the problem here?
Yes, sir. Now understand.
So very careful, be very careful. Okay. Then let me discuss about the second problem.
স্যার এখানে ওই I is equal to 5, I is equal to 6 যে কোনো ভ্যালুই নেওয়া যাবে তাই তো স্যার?
You can give any value, no problem. Okay.
নো প্রবলেম। জাস্ট তাহলে স্যার এই যে প্রথমটা ইনিশিয়াল ভ্যালু যে I is equal to 4 তাহলে ওই ভ্যালু স্যার ওইটা শুরু থেকে
It will override
But
the
নেওয়া যাবে
previous
না
value. It will override the previous value. Okay. Previously it was 4, now it will be 5. It will override the previous value. That is the thing. Okay.
3 নেওয়া যাবে না তাই তো স্যার?
No, you can take any value. 3, -5, -6, any value you can take. No problem. I just need to know what is the output of this code. Okay. Whatever the value you will assign here, it is okay. No problem. Okay. Okay. So now come to the second problem. That is, again, you have to find out the output. Okay. They are basically giving here one. The value of x is 4. Then y and z, 3 variables we have. And inside this y, what we are inserting? We are inserting minus x. That means post decrement. Not post, sorry. So I think already you have idea how we can calculate this pre-increment or pre-decrement, post-increment or post-decrement. So this is the result. So execute the problem at your home and try to match the result with it. Okay, then you will understand. I'm not solving it now. So this is your home task. Do it. Then again, here we have another output. We have to find out the output. Okay. So they are basically mentioning here we have one array, one-dimensional array. You can see one-dimensional array we have here. This is one-dimensional array. Num 16. That means we have 26 blocks we have, isn't it? In this way, 26 blocks we have. Okay, 0 to, in this way we have, last one is 25. As because we are starting from 0, so it will be 25. Okay, that is the thing. That means inside this num array we can store in total 26 value. 0 to 25 is the index number. What they're saying, in this number, position number 0, we are storing what? 100. We are storing 100 in the position number 0. And in the position number 25, we are storing 200. Sorry, 200. Okay, 200. Okay. Now, what they are doing? They are storing the value of 200 inside the temp variable, temporary variable, and the value of position number 0 is 100. 100 we are assigning inside the position number 25, isn't it? So now it will override the previous value. What it will do? It will make it 100. Okay, make it 100. And then what was the temp value? If you remember, the temp value was 200. Okay, we are assigning 200 inside the temp. Okay, that means when I am writing this line, okay, this line, what it will do? It will override the value and it will make it 200. Okay, and when I am printing,
Shafeequl Islam, turn off your microphone.
স্যার 4 নম্বর লাইন থেকে একটু আরেকবার একটু রিপিট করবেন কষ্ট করে
1 2 3 4. Okay, so position number 25. Inside the position number 25, which value we have? 200, isn't it? If you remember, 200, isn't it? Okay,
200
we are assigning 200 where? Inside this temporary variable, isn't it? Temporary is another variable. We are assigning this 200 inside the temporary variable. We are storing this 200 inside the temporary variable. Then in the fifth line, what we are doing? We are taking the value of number 0 position. That means 0 position we have 100, and you are assigning this value inside this 25 position. Previously it was 200. Now we are assigning 100 from this 0 position. Now the value of 225 position is 100, and line number 6 we are basically assigning what? The value of temporary inside the number 0 position. Num 0 position. Num 0 position we had 100. Now we are assigning 200. This 200 we stored inside this temporary variable. Okay, so now we are printing this two value. The num 0 position we have now 200. That's why it is printing 200 first. Then num 25 position we have 100. Okay, it is printing 100 in this way. So in your examination, if you write down 100 first and 200 later, you will get 0. You have to follow this sequence. What is printing? What is the value of num 0, and then what is the value of num 25? Okay, right. Okay, then we have another example given, output example given. Okay, here we apply
2 minute over.
Okay,
The class.
Okay, so I'm going to finish our lecture very soon. So
I
here,
have another class.
okay, I'm going to finish this lecture very soon. Okay, so here we have one array, and then here we have one loop. Okay, then we are saying that what should be the value of AI, what should be the value of this one. Okay, so execute this one at your home and try to find out why the output is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, that is it. And then the last one, finding error. So here you have to find out, I'm going to give you a code and you have to find out what is the error. So if you carefully observe this code, then you can find out that here we have one problem. Okay, inside the loop, inside the body, second line, here we have one problem. What is the problem? Can you please tell me, anyone? What is the problem here?
দুটো
condition.
What? Can you please repeat it again?
স্যার দুটো ব্র্যাকেট 5 এর পর একটা আর if এর পর if ব্র্যাকেট
The problem is we write down this if twice. We write down this if twice. Okay, you can write down if I equal to 5 and k equals to 10, isn't it? We have to use double equal symbol. Okay, double equal symbol like this, and then we have to write down the condition like this. Okay, this is the correct syntax. This is the correct syntax. Here is the syntax error. This is the syntax error problem. Okay, so in this way you have to find out the errors. Okay, the given problem.
স্যার আমার একটু সমস্যা স্যার এর আগের ইয়াটা একটু বুঝতে পারিনি, মানে ওই 200 and 100 ওটা আরেকবার আমি আর কি ফিরে আসছি স্যার, আমাকে
Okay,
একটু
so
টাইম
what
দেওয়া
I'm
যায়?
going to do, I'm going to upload my recorded video file in your group. Okay, in the group you will get the video content. So what you have to do, you have to just go through the video again, then maybe you will understand the portion. Okay, but still if you have any problem, knock me later. Okay, knock me later, I will let you understand the problem. Okay, is it okay with you,
স্যার
Arafat?
হ্যাঁ, ইয়েস স্যার। আর স্যার আরেকটা জিনিস জানার ছিল স্যার, যদি ওই পোস্ট ইনক্রিমেন্ট বা ডিক্রিমেন্ট হয় সেক্ষেত্রে করণীয় মানে কি কি? প্রথমে আমরা রেজাল্টটা নিয়ে নেব, তারপর ওর সাথে যোগ করব, নাকি প্রথমে এক যোগ করার পর পরে রেজাল্টটা ওর সাথে যোগ করব স্যার?
Okay, I'm going to give your
So
answer.
may I leave?
I'm going to give your answer, but I would like to mention one thing. Some of you have class, another class, isn't it? So,
Yes, sir.
I mean, all of you, please mention your ID in the chat section. Okay, we have a chat option, isn't it? In the chat option, please mention all of your ID. And those who have class, you guys can leave the meeting. No problem. Our class is over. Those who have problem, they can stay, and rest of you can move. Okay, but before leave the meeting session, mention your ID in our chat section. Just mention your ID in the chat section. My instruction is clear to you. We have a chat section. Please mention all of your ID in the chat section. Okay. And those who have class, please leave the meeting. I'm going to upload my video content as well as my Word document as well as my PowerPoint document in our group, Facebook Messenger group. Okay. Don't worry. Okay, now the question of Arafat. Okay, Arafat, you told
Yes.
me basically what, how pre-increment and post-increment basically work, isn't it? Pre-increment and post-increment work. Okay. So let me show you. So here in pre-increment or pre-decrement, okay, the same process, pre-increment, what it will do, it will increase the value 1 or it will decrease the value 1. After that it will assign the value, or after that it will calculate the value. On the other hand,
Sir, pre-increment
it will increase the value first or it will decrease the value first, then it will do the calculation. On the other hand, post increment, it will perform the calculation first, then it will increase or decrease the value. Okay, from the name we can easily understand. Pre means fast increment and post means later increment. Okay, that is the
okay sir. পোস্ট ইনক্রিমেন্ট বুঝবো, আগে সিম্বল থাকবে, মানে আগে অপারেটর থাকবে, তারপর হচ্ছে এক্স বা ওয়াই ওটা থাকবে, তাই তো স্যার? যেমন এখানে মাইনাস মাইনাস ওইটাই তো পোস্ট না?
This one is pre.
Oh, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, সরি।
Pre.
Okay.
And second one is the example of post. Okay.
And is post.
Operator will be available before the operand. That is called pre. Here minus is the operator, isn't it? Okay.
Okay,
and this x is the operand. So minus x means what? We are writing the operator first, then the operand. So this is the example of pre-decrement. Okay, and x minus this is the example of post-decrement. Operand first, then the operator. Okay, operand first, then the operator. Okay.
জি স্যার। স্যার এর পরের পেজটা একটু ওপেন করেন স্যার। পরের
I'm opening. Let me check whether any other question in the chat option or not. Okay. Okay, no question in the chat. Next page. Okay, next page.
স্যার হ্যাঁ, এইটা এই ইয়াটা একটু।
Okay.
এই
Okay, I'm explaining. Give me a few seconds. I'm explaining. So here, in the first line, what we are doing? We are declaring one dimensional array, and we are declaring one simple variable. Temp is a simple variable, and num 26 is the one dimensional array. So when you declare one dimensional array, basically the array size is 26. That means you can store in total 26 variable, no, not 26 variable, 26 value inside this array. So here we have number
Array.
of blocks. Okay, here we have number of blocks available. Okay, 0 to 25. Okay, so
Yes.
0, this is the
Total
index number,
26.
and last one is the 25. So this is what?
Five.
Index number, isn't it? Index number. So
Yes.
in between this we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and others. Okay, that is the thing. So in the second line, what I am doing, I am assigning value 100 inside what? In which position I am assigning the value? In which position I am assigning the value? First
block.
position, right? First block. Okay, right.
Yes.
So here we have 100. Is that okay? Now 200,
Yes,
where
sir.
we are assigning 200?
25 number
Last
block.
one.
Last block, right?
Last.
Very good. Last block. Okay, right. Okay. Then in this fourth line, what I am doing, I am giving the value of 25 number position into temporary variable. What is the value of 25 number position? 200.
200.
Inside the temp variable, okay, temp variable, I'm basically assigning what? Try to understand. Huh? This one is temp. Okay.
Yes,
My
sir.
handwriting is not that much worst. Okay, so because of this
Sir,
mouse,
সমস্যা নেই স্যার।
I am basically
স্যার সমস্যা।
okay. So 200 basically we are assigning here, isn't it? In this line, you understand?
Yes,
In
sir.
this line we are assigning
Yes, sir.
200 into the temp variable. Now in this line, what we are doing? Next line.
স্যার পরের লাইন হচ্ছে যে 200 is equal to 100
Not 200 equal to 100. Here is the problem.
মানে নাম্বার 5 নাম্বার
This is
25 is equal to number
I am going to assign the value of num0 position into num25 position. Okay, this is the variable now. This is the variable now, and this is the value now. You understand? What is the value of
yes sir
num0 position? 100, isn't it?
temp
No. In num0 position, what is the value?
100.
100. And where we are assigning the value 100?
num25.
Sir,
The
Right,
last one.
num25, isn't it? In this location. Okay, that means we are assigning this 100 inside this num25 position.
25.
But can you please tell me, inside one block, is it possible to store multiple value?
no
No,
sir
sir.
Not
যে
possible,
ভ্যালুটা
right?
আমরা পুট করব ওই স্যার লাস্টে যে ভ্যালুটা পুট করব ওটাই যেমন 200 এর জায়গায় 100 ওই 100 থাকবে এখন
It will override the previous value. It will override the previous value. Now tell me, what is the value of 25 position? 100. It is no more. It is right. It is no more 200. It is no more 200. Okay, right. Okay. And in this line, what we are doing? Temp equals to num0. That means what is the value of temp? 200. We are inserting this value
200.
at num0 position. It will override the previous value. Now it is 200. Okay. And last line, what we are doing? Very simple. What is this? We are printing the value of num0 and we are printing the value of num25 position. What is the value of num0 position? 200. What is the value of num25 position? It is 100.
100.
That's why it is printing.
স্যার প্রিন্ট ওখানে টেম্প দেওয়া যাবে না একটু নাম 25 এর জায়গায়
num25 এর জায়গায় you would like to use temp. You can use temp, no
Yes.
problem. You can use temp, no problem. But I write down code in this way. So you cannot change the code. When I say that find out the output, you are not allowed to change the code. Whatever the code given, you have to execute your program with your own according to that code. You are not allowed to change the code. But definitely, if I write down temp here instead of 25, it will give you same output, 200. Sorry, 200, right? It will give you 200. Okay, that is the thing. Okay.
okay oh understand স্যার বুঝতে পারছি।
Okay.
আমি যদি ওখানে টেম্প লিখতাম তাহলে আমার ওইখানে আউটপুটের আমার জায়গায় 200 লিখতে হতো। আর
Right.
যেহেতু আমি এই যে টেম্প রাইম নাম্বার 25 লিখেছি, যেহেতু ওটা ওভাররাইট হয়েছে একবার, সেই জন্য এখন ওটার ভ্যালু 100। জি স্যার বুঝতে পেরেছি।
So suppose if
Thank
I
you,
write
sir.
down here number 0 and if I write down here instead of number 25, if I write down here temp, okay, temp, T-E-M-P, temp, okay, consider temp, okay. So can you please tell me what is the output now? What should be the output here?
Output is 200, 200.
Comma, you need not to give any comma, 200 and 200, right? Very good.
200.
Right. Okay. Okay, so that's all about today's class. Okay, and as I already mentioned, I'm going to upload my video content, today's video content, in our Facebook group. Okay, Facebook Messenger group, as well as I will upload slide number 5. Okay, as well as I will upload this Word document. Okay, in our group.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Any more question? Any more things you'd like to
Okay, sir.
discuss? Okay, so I guess you do not have any questions. So that's all for today. Okay, so see you in the next meeting. Okay, till then,
Okay, sir.
be safe. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, sir.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz.
Sir, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum assalam.